not there. He took off in the early hours, according to a neighbour.
Try his mate's flat, above the record shop. One of you go round the back, Casey legs him.
And then he held out his hand, like this, and says, read my palm, gypsy boy. Tell me my fortune. And I hear this other cop laughing, and I wanted to say, I see nothing. You have no future. But I didn't.
Probably wiser.
Oh, they kept it up all night.
Mr. Kelly?
10 hours I've been locked up. I can't. I can't.
Shall I see if I can hurry them up?
Please.
Go on. You all right? You're a bit peaky.
Well, someone rang me at 2 in the morning and I couldn't get back to sleep. You don't remember?
Good night. Stayed in. Studying my whiskey collection.
I can't swap cases. He'll be in as soon as the other custody case is dealt with.
Fine. It's just he's gone a bit stir-crazy down there.
You should see me in my hotel room.
Love to. What's the room number?
101.
I just pace or sit on the bed and watch the TV.
Which has poor reception. Be there, have you? No, but I feel like I have.
I'm checking out soon anyway. Looking to rent.
I know, great little place. Widescreen telly, power shower.
Oi! Seen Des.
He's back there.
And where did you disappear to last night?
Peninsula.
Strong hands.
I'm looking for you, Ginge.
Be gentle with him, okay? It's not as tough as he looks to you, babe.
Like, come on, we're in here.
How's the boy?
Worked up. It's a bit worrying.
Just needs something to focus on, see. Bit of a live wire like his dad.
Has he got a window down there? If they find me guilty, what are we looking at?
Well, I'd like to say a suspension.
Because I didn't give you all our work just to get banged up, did I?
They're about ready for you.
Can you hold off a bit?
Not really, no.
Give us 5, yeah? Well, let's get real, Craig. You're in the dock, the cavalry ain't coming, and prosecution is one tired lady. Now, you're a man with a few low-life friends, yeah? The kind who'd stash stolen gear in your flat and not think to tell you. Good news is there's nothing to tie you directly with the theft. You've got an alibi, albeit your girlfriend, and the shop assistant described the thief as 5'9". Well, you're not exactly that, are you?
No. But I know a man who is.
I knew it. Before I won the last game, they weren't going to pay up. They weren't about to be fleeced by a smelly jippo.
Did they call you that?
They were drunk. I wasn't. Well, that was work for me. Stood to make more in a night than Dad does in a week. Is he full of, I told him so, and I...
He's worried about you being cooped up, as your free spirits.
First thing he says when we get to a new town is, don't go wandering off. But we're free, all right. We're free.
Tony looks sweet in his suit. Kept me awake all night, grinding his teeth. A girl's got better things to do than lie there listening to that.
Are you Craig Pearson of 8A Bexley Flats, Bridge Street, Pembridge, date of birth 15th of the 7th, 62?
Yes.
To the charge of theft, you've pleaded not guilty. Is that still your plea?
Yes.
Miss Cates.
Your Worships, on October the 26th of this year, a theft occurred at Langford's jewellery store at around 4 p.m. And whilst the shop assistant was distracted, a man in a hooded top came into the shop and snatched a tray of rings and 2 necklaces to the value of £1,300.
Your Worships, my client had only recently arrived in Pembridge. He went to the Railway Inn last night and became involved in a seemingly friendly game of poker. As the players, locals at the pub, got more inebriated, the stakes got higher. My client doesn't drink and was therefore fully aware that after winning 4 games, he was entitled to £165. But the players refused to pay. When he insisted that they honour their promise, they became hostile and accused him of being a smelly parasite who couldn't count as he was uneducated gypsy dirt.
Could you take your hands out of your pockets, please?
That's when he lost his temper, hurled the table into the bar, and did the damage to the pub. As a travelling Romany gypsy, the night spent in the cells has been torturous for him. He deeply regrets what he did, but in his defence, he thought he'd found a small haven in a new town, only to be denied what was rightfully his, and to encounter the kind of racial abuse that those of us who aren't in a minority group can only begin to imagine.
Thank you, Mr. Francis. We'll retire to discuss sentence.
Let's stand.
Can he not stay here? He'll sit quiet, honest to God.
And if my client had stolen the rings, I doubt he'd be foolish enough to hide them in his own flat. Several people have access to my client's flat, and it is far more likely that someone stashed them there temporarily. You also told us, P.C. Callow, that an anonymous tip-off led to my client's flat being searched. Maybe someone was trying to set him up. Either way, am I right in believing that there is no forensic evidence connecting my client to these rings?
Yes, that's right.
Nothing further.
We'll retire for lunch. The case for the defence will be heard this afternoon.
All right.
About that phone call.
Judge, it's someone I think you should meet. He's the one you need to talk to.
What about?
I did it. The theft. I did it.
You better come with me.
We've got a couple of acres up there.
Nice sized garden.
Yes, plenty of space for the kids. It's coming along, but it's a little,
dull, unimaginative. We could liven it up a bit for you. Grade the lawns, put in a rockery, water features, wildflowers. It's my trade, eh?
Thing is, the garden is really my wife's speciality. I think she may have contacts.
Whatever they'll quote, I'll halve it.
Court rise.
And if he gets off, I'll put in some logging free for you.
Mr. Kelly, this court orders you to pay £280 for the damage done to the Railway Inn, and also £120 court costs. We have taken into account your guilty plea. How does your client intend to pay?
£5 a week.
If I may, Your Worships, as the defendant is of no fixed abode, this fine will have to be paid today. Otherwise, an alternative form of punishment will have to be enforced immediately, namely 28 days in prison.
Mr. Kelly, you will need to pay the full amount of...
How can we do that? We need a few weeks at least.
I'm afraid this court has no choice, sir. The penalty is fixed.
Oh, I see. House dwellers can be trusted and gypsies can't.
Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave this courtroom.
A month in jail, finish
If you
him.
don't, this court will find you in contempt.
Come on, sir. Don't worry, I'll try and sort something.
Sorry, I overlooked that.
There's nothing we can do.
Not really.
He's too sensitive. He attracts bullies, always has.
I'm sorry.
All my life, I've been trying to protect him from the sort you'll meet in there. Look, give me an hour. Keep him here. Don't let them take him away, okay?
Something stinks in you.
What?
I saw that the shop was full. I saw the shop assistant go out the back. Then I ran in and stole a tray of rings and 2 necklaces.
So you didn't plan this at all?
No.
But the CCTV cameras had been turned around.
Yeah, I did that first. Sorry, yeah. And I waited across the road till the shop was full.
Prosecution might ask you certain questions, Neil. Like, why did you hide the rings in Craig Pearson's flat?
I got rid of the rest of the stuff, but I got jittery about the rings. So I went round and hid them in his flat.
Craig, a friend of yours?
Known him years. He's my dealer. Yeah, I wouldn't say that. I put cupboards up in his flat. I'm a carpenter, see, so I got spare keys. I was gonna go back and get them. Can't let an old mate carry the can.
Neil, you do know what all this entails. If I call you as a witness for the defence, there's police on the premises and you'll be arrested immediately.
Yeah, but if I don't do this thing... Look, I think it's better all round if I come clean.
Are you in pain?
I'm okay.
I know it's a small amount of money, but you still obtained it by deception.
People are always stopping me and asking for money. £1 a person. A lot will miss it. My cow reported me stacked. Got to clean it, everything.
And sadly for you, who works for the hospice you claim to be collecting for. She checked. There was no organised sponsored walk.
Me and the kids were going to walk around Pembridge Park 10 times. We were. Just because I didn't go through the proper channels.
That's very flimsy ground, Mrs. Marshall. I strongly suggest you change your plea. It'll stand in your favour and I can explain your background. The abuse.
Isn't there somewhere private we can do this?
I haven't got your name down, Neil. What are you up for?
Well, tell the man, Neil. Tell him what you've been up to.
Cheryl, all that nonsense from Des this morning. He's only flirting with me to get at you, you know.
I need a word. Someone's coughed to the theft. I'll be calling him as a witness.
Right. Your mate must be pleased.
Des. Neil Johnson, I know him. He's nothing but a harmless dope smoker. There's no way he'd have the gumption to carry out that jeweller's job. I think maybe someone's putting pressure on him.
Yeah, well, thanks for the tip, but I can only take his instructions, can I? So what did I say then, on the phone?
I'm all out of booze. Got any at your place?
Have to get myself one of those. Peter, if you're cross with me, I'd rather you came out and said it. You've been 3 years in the chair. Can't you look on this as an opportunity to do other things?
What do you suggest? Flower arranging?
So, in mitigation, I'll explain that you had no one to turn to when you couldn't make ends meet, as you're new to the area, having fled an abusive relationship. There's an injunction out against your husband.
He's got someone else anyway.
Can you tell me why you did this?
I needed shoes for my kids. The washing machine needs fixing. I'm late paying the gas. And I fancied a lipstick, but I couldn't afford it.
Mrs. Marshall?
Whatever he was, he always provided. Time's up. Can't do it. There's nothing left to sell.
I'll see if he's back.
When he said don't wander off, I said they're just people. But they're not, are they? Here. Towards the Free Rowan campaign. For me dad. I won her off an officer, had a bet on a card trick.
You sure you won fair and square last night?
As fair as any hustler in any town.
Got a few minutes yet. There's a canteen just down there.
You paying?
So you've never had a proper girlfriend? So are you a virgin then?
Don't worry about it. Might meet someone inside.
I'm not going anywhere. Just need some air.
The missus is going to scream blue murder when she finds her clock's gone. Still, it's got me up to £315. Do you think they'll take that for now?
I'm not sure. From Rowan.
About that Guardian job.
I never said...
I guess they'll charge you 300 for what we talked about. I said I'd halve it, that's 150. A down payment of 75 quid would come in very handy right now.
Just in case.
Good stand.
Mr. Can you count?
Here you are. £325. In cash. And a cheque for 75 quid. Made out by our good friend, Mr. Francis, over there. I trust he won't bounce. You better count it.
And you do realize that you will almost certainly be charged with this?
Yes.
Nothing further?
You say you waited until the shop assistant was distracted.
Yeah, she went out the back.
Who distracted her for you? A friend?
No, I don't know who he was. Some customer.
So, you turned the cameras round earlier in the day whilst the assistant was distracted, and then you waited until she was conveniently distracted again. Come on, you must have had help.
No, I did it by myself.
Who did you sell the jewellery to?
A contact. I can't say who he is. I won't. He's not from around here.
And having sold most of your spoils to this phantom contact, you then decided to hide the remaining 3 diamond rings in Craig Pearson's flat. Did anyone know you'd done that?
No one knew, only I knew.
Oh, so you tipped off the police?
What?
Well, on October the 29th, the police received an anonymous phone call telling them where the rings were hidden, now as only you knew.
I don't know. I didn't call the police.
Who are you protecting, Mr. Johnson?
No one.
Well, then it's a mystery, isn't it? I mean, no one knew, yet someone rang the police. This isn't adding up, which leads me to believe that your version of events isn't strictly true. Now, may I remind you that you are under oath?
It was me. I phoned him. I didn't want to say. I thought the police had sussed me, see, and I panicked. I wanted to throw them off the scent.
So, you alert the police to the whereabouts of your own stolen goods and incriminate a close friend in the process. Why are you lying?
I'm not. I stashed the rings at Craig's house and then I called the police. Now, why would I make that up?
Well, you tell me. This isn't a game. You stand to face a custodial sentence. Now, have you ever been in prison, Mr.
I
Johnson?
did it, and that's all you need to know.
Miss Cates.
Nothing further.
This case should really be dismissed. We don't have much choice. Police will be happy, whatever. Get a result. In view of this new evidence, the case against Craig Pearson is dismissed. Mr. Pearson, on the charge of theft, the court finds you not guilty. You're free to go. P.C. Callow, imagine you'll want to have a word with this witness.
All rise.
My client left her marital home only 3 months ago. She had fled in the night after a particularly savage beating. She had waited till her husband was asleep and then taken her 2 small children and driven to a refuge. She is now rehoused but has had trouble making friends. She's also finding it hard to cope without a man in the house. She was married at 17 and has never worked. Her husband would not let her. So, here we have a vulnerable woman, alone on an estate, with mounting debts, 2 small children to look after, and very little life experience. Her crime is in effect no more than a cry for help, and I would urge the bench to realize that what she needs now more than anything is some form of support.
Thank you, Mr. Singh.
Poor bloke. Can't see him surviving a stretch.
What? I only took his instructions. I warned him. I gave him a chance.
Oh, but your friends didn't, though.
I was hoping you'd crack him. Why do you think I kept quiet?
Oh, so it was all up to me, was it? I'm worried about you, that's all. I care.
Is that why you broke it off?
You had enough to deal with.
Or was it all getting a little too human? What do you want me to do, jack it in? I don't do this to meet a better class of person, you know.
Oh, so you do it to send innocents to jail?
Wake up, Cheryl. It's par for the course. You think you might never have to do that?
Not intentionally, Des. No.
Off to the gym. Run away and detox, then wash me out of your system.
Need to thank you, don't I? Why don't you come round to mine after this? I'll send Craig on his way.
Only way I'd be interested in you is if you went back on the street, ended up in that dock, and I stood to make 250 quid. Have you got that?
My old man, I like what you just said.
Oh, I suppose he'd love to hear that you just came on to me.
There he is.
Thanks, Stat. You won't thank me when you find that your hi-fi's gone, and your gold chain, and your mini discman. Still, I'll teach you to listen. But I think I got a job out of it. And who knows, that Mr. Francis may have some land we could pitch up on.
Gin's coming for a pint, though. What's the matter?
Oh, Craig.
Having taken into account your guilty plea and your mitigating circumstances, the bench has decided to impose a community rehabilitation order so that you may get the support you evidently need, which hopefully will prevent you from resorting to such underhand tactics in the future.
Court stand.
Good outcome.
What's this order about?
He touched you where?
He said it was his right as our free.
You'll have a probation officer who'll focus on you as an individual and will be fully sympathetic to your needs. You okay?
Yeah. No. I'm 2 months pregnant. I went back there for some stuff and...
What? Did he?
No, he didn't force me. I wanted it. He doesn't know. I can't even look after the 2 kids I've got.
Ralph, could you look after Mrs. Marshall? It's just I've got some pressing appointments.
Ginge, Bo. You up for a beer then?
No, not tonight.
Fair enough.
It makes us all look shoddy. I know it's tough for him, but...
Right.
No, thanks. Taking me around.
How's your pint, Cole?
I'd like to, but I'd better get home. Got to explain to the wife that there's a whole load of gypsies turning up tomorrow to do the garden. Des, some people came to see me yesterday. The priests and the Grant family.
Oh, yeah, no.
They're up for a big shoplifting ring charge. Thing is, I'm away when their trial's due, and as they know you...
Yeah. Cheers, Cole.
What are you doing tonight? Oh, you know, complaining about room service, channel hopping, beating myself up about being a bad mother.
Let's eat out. Gordon's away, and I need to bore you with my trendy lefty chairperson strategies.
I should warn you, 1 glass of wine and I'll be laying into men.
Ooh, can't wait.
Val. Apologies. I'm a creature of habit. The idea of readjusting.
I know. How's things at home?
Grace's sister's staying over. Talks non-stop. So, if you've got anything you want to run by me now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Peter, I can't tonight. I've got a meeting. Soon, though. Be lovely.
It's okay. I'll sort him.
Oh,